George Orwell History. George Orwell, born as Eric Arthur Blair on June 25, 1903, in Motihari, British India, now part of modern-day India, was an English writer and journalist. He is best known for his works of fiction, including the dystopian novels 1984 and Animal Farm, which have had a significant impact on literature and popular culture. Orwell's early life was marked by his experiences in colonial India, where his father worked as a civil servant. He later moved to England and attended prestigious schools, including Eton College. After completing his education, Orwell joined the Indian Imperial Police in Burma, now Myanmar, but resigned in 1927, disillusioned with the British Empire's oppressive rule. Following his return to England, Orwell began his career as a writer and journalist. He adopted the pen name George Orwell to avoid embarrassing his family with his political writings. Orwell's early works reflected his experiences in poverty and social injustice, notably his memoir Down and Out in Paris and London 1933 and the investigative work The Road to Wigan Pier 1937. Orwell's most famous novel, Animal Farm 1945, is a satirical allegory that depicts the Russian Revolution and the subsequent rise of totalitarianism. It criticizes the corruption and betrayal of the original ideals of the revolution. 1984-1949, considered one of the most influential novels of the 20th century, portrays a bleak future dystopia ruled by a totalitarian regime that controls every aspect of people's lives. Throughout his life, Orwell was deeply engaged in political and social issues. He identified as a democratic socialist and was critical of both capitalism and communism. Orwell's writings often explored themes of political oppression, surveillance, censorship, and the abuse of power. His works continued to be studied and celebrated for their insightful commentary on these topics. Tragically, George Orwell's life was cut short by tuberculosis, and he passed away on January 21, 1950, at the age of 46. However, his literary contributions and legacy have endured, making him one of the most renowned and influential writers of the 20th century. Orwell's real name, although he is widely known by his pen name George Orwell, his birth name was Eric Arthur Blair. He adopted the name George Orwell in 1933 when he began his writing career. Spanish Civil War. Orwell was deeply affected by the Spanish Civil War 1936-1939, where he went to fight on the side of the Republican forces against General Francisco Franco's nationalist forces. His experiences during the war and his disillusionment with the communist movement influenced his political beliefs and writings. Writing style and themes. Orwell's writing style is characterized by its clarity, simplicity, and directness. He believed in using plain language to convey his ideas effectively. His works often explore themes such as totalitarianism, political corruption, social inequality, and the dangers of propaganda and manipulation. Animal Farm. Orwell's novella Animal Farm is an allegory that depicts a group of farm animals overthrowing their human farmer and establishing an egalitarian society. However, over time, the pigs, led by Napoleon, betray the original ideals and establish a repressive regime, illustrating Orwell's critique of the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin. 1984. Orwell's novel 1984 is set in a dystopian future where the government, led by Big Brother, exercises total control over its citizens through surveillance, propaganda, and thought control. The novel introduced concepts such as Big Brother, thought crime, and newspeak that have become part of the popular lexicon. Political essays and journalism. In addition to his fiction works, Orwell wrote numerous essays and articles on political and social issues. Some of his notable essays include Politics and the English Language, where he discusses the degradation of language and its impact on political thought, and Shooting an Elephant, which explores themes of imperialism and personal morality. Legacy and influence. Orwell's works continued to be widely read and studied for their insights into power, language, and the human condition. His ideas and concepts have influenced not only literature but also political and cultural discourse. The adjective Orwellian is often used to describe oppressive and authoritarian practices. George Orwell's contributions to literature and his thought-provoking ideas have made him a significant figure in the literary world, and his works continue to resonate with readers across generations.